What's going on, guys? I'm Built, and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock farm tutorial video. In this video today, I'm going to be showing you how to make this very small, compact, and easy to build micro farm design, and this micro farm design will make a ton of different things. To go over everything that this farm will produce wheat, beetroots, potatoes, carrots, sweet berries, and also glowberries. Now, before we get started on the demonstration, I am going to show you that there is two different models here. These are practically the same exact machines, except this one here on the left hand side is the Deluxe version, which has more features, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. But both of these work exactly the same aside from the added features on it, and they are fairly straightforward to use. The first thing that you're going to want to do is load all three of these barrels on top with bone meal, and that's what's going to power this farm and keep it working. Next, on most of the stuff that you're going to be harvesting, you're going to go ahead and till your dirt block and turn it into a piece of farmland. The only thing that you're not going to do this with is going to be the sweet berry bush, and that is because you cannot plant sweet berry bush on top of farmland. On all of the other stuff, it's going to either need to be tilled or it's not going to matter. So the way that you're going to use this farm is you are going to simply walk forward on this pressure plate, and you're going to hold down the plant button, and it's going to plant down the crops, and is going to rapidly grow them and break them and then collect them inside of the chest down below. Now, you might notice that our inventory is completely filled up, and that way none of this stuff is going to go into our inventory. It's all going to go down into this collection chest below. And as you can see, I've done plenty of testing with this machine. This is going to work the exact same way using the beetroot seeds. You can go ahead and plant those and it will instantly grow them. You can go ahead and use this with the potatoes as well. It's going to grow those up and collect them inside of the bottom. Carrots as well. And then the only other two that is different is going to be the sweet berry bush and the glowberries. The glowberries, you're actually going to point at the top of the piston and hold down the plant button. And as you can see, it's going to plant and grow many glowberries and harvest those. And then those are all going to get harvested and put down inside of the chest below. And as you can see, we have all of our stuff down here below that we just planted and grew. Now, in order to do the sweet berry bush, you are going to want to change out this farmland block and replace it with a dirt block. So very quickly remove this, place down a dirt block, and then you are good to go. Now you can just walk forwards on this pressure plate, hold down your sweet berry bush planting button, and you will have more sweet berries than you know what to do with. And of course, whenever you are done using the sweet berries, you can go ahead and click it with a hoe, and you are good to go with all the other stuff again. Now, if you are not that quick on changing this out, then that will of course let the water out and it's going to go down below. But instead of ruining all of the redstone, I've designed this to where the water is only going to go on top of those hoppers, so it's really not that big of a deal. So you could just go ahead and plant your dirt back in here to stop your water. And then the only thing that you need to do, instead of fixing all of the redstone, you're going to remove this. You're going to push that minecart all the way forward again. And then you are just going to nudge it back a hair, just like that, where there's a slight gap. And then that's going to reset the farm to where you are good to go again. Put your glass back, and then you are ready to harvest. So this design here will work phenomenal if you need about a stack of stuff and you just want to collect some items really fast. However, if you're going to want to AFK and do more than a stack, then you are going to want to go with the Deluxe model here. And what makes this different is we have a Composter here, which is going to compost all of the seeds that come out of here. Now, this Composter is manual. You are going to have to grab your seeds, put them inside of the barrel, and then all of your bone meal will make its way down here inside of the chest. However, what is automatic on this side is this feeding system. So you could go ahead and take all of your carrots, throw your carrots into here. We could go ahead and keep a stack, and then we're going to want to fill the rest of our inventory up. Just like so. And then we are ready to go. Now, whenever we step on this pressure plate, I'm going to throw myself into survival real quick. Now that I'm on survival, you can see that I actually have 64 carrots. So whenever we step on this pressure plate, you'll see that this thing starts to dispense. And as we walk forwards, it's going to start giving us carrots as soon as we start planting. So as you can see, we have our carrots being replenished. And this is just going to keep recirculating these carrots over and over until all of these are empty and put into our inventory and planted. Now that we are all done growing our carrots, you can see that these dispensers are still shooting out bone meal. However, this is just a particle effect. The dispensers are not actually using bone meal unless there's a crop in front of them. And as you can see, we just turned those 5 or 6 stacks of carrots into many stacks of carrots. What do you say? Enough jibber jabber. Let's jump into the tutorial and get to building this thing. Everything that you're going to need in order to build the basic version is going to be up top here. And everything that you're going to need for the Deluxe add-on is going to be down here below. So to get started, I'm going to be building the basic version here as mentioned, and then after I'm done building the basic version, I'm going to make the modifications in order to add the Deluxe features to it. The very first thing that we need to do is make sure that our area that we plan on building this in is going to be chunk aligned, and you're going to want to mark out a 4 block wide by 5 block deep area like I have in front of me. If you don't know how to chunk align, then I have a shorts video. I'll link it in the top right now. It's a video that's less than a minute long that uses the leaf method. It's very simple and easy to do, and shows you how to use leaves off of the tree in order to find the chunk borders. There's also a fantastic pack by Foxy No-Tail, which is the markers pack on his website. I'll go ahead and link that down inside the description below. And it uses armor stands with banners. You just go ahead and click on the armor stand and it will bring up these chunk lines. And that's going to let you know that this is inside of a chunk and it will not have any reliability issues. So now that this is all chunk aligned, we can go ahead and deactivate this guy and we'll get started building this. The first thing we're going to want to do is go to the area that we have marked out and go to the very front right corner. We're going to skip this block and remove these 3 blocks here. Then we're going to go left and remove these 2 blocks here, these 2 blocks here, and this block here. So this is what you should have. And now I'm just going to go ahead and grab some of this ground material block and change these out. That way I'm not placing redstone on dirt. Now that we've done that, we can go ahead and grab the chest, and we're going to place a chest here and here. Then you're going to grab a hopper. Place a hopper going into the side of that chest there. Make sure that it is pointing into the side. And then place down a hopper going into that hopper. And a hopper going into the back of the chest. Next, you're going to grab your redstone comparator and your redstone dust. Grab your redstone comparator and we're going to place it right here facing towards the back of the farm. And we are going to left click that. That way it's in subtract mode. Then take your redstone dust. Place redstone dust here, here, and here. And then place a piece of redstone dust here as well. So this is what you should have. Next, you're going to want your solid building blocks, your rails, your dirt, your hopper minecart, and also your glass. You're going to want to go to the front of the farm and go to this block here. Go ahead and place a solid block down here. And then you're going to go to this hopper that's closest to that block that you just placed and crouch place a rail on top of it. Go ahead and take your dirt or farmland, whichever you are using, and crouch place on top of that rail. And then you're going to want to place down a hopper minecart on that rail. Go ahead and jump down here where you can select this rail. And go ahead and remove that rail out from underneath that hopper minecart. Next, you are going to grab your glass, go all the way around here to this chest, and we're going to place down glass here and here. Then we're going to place one more piece to the back here, that way it encases that. Now we are going to place down 2 more pieces of glass here, but first we need to nudge this hopper minecart towards the back a little bit. And we want the very end of this front wheel just over that hopper. So we're just going to nudge this just ever so slightly, to where there is just a small little gap. That's too much of a gap there. So we'll go ahead and nudge that back. And how that wheel just lines up with the hitbox on that hopper, that is exactly what we want. We want it far enough this way to where it's going to pick up all the items. However, we don't want it way back here because then we're not going to have double hopper speed either. So that is exactly how it should look, and you should have that gap just like that. Next, we are going to take 2 more pieces of glass and fully encase this thing. So we are going to crouch place a piece of glass on top of that comparator. Make sure that you do not change the setting on that comparator. And then we are going to place down another piece of glass here. These do have to be glass, so that way the redstone does pass through it. We are then going to take another piece of glass and place down another piece of glass here. And then we are going to place down a temporary block here, a piece of glass here, and remove that piece of glass. So this is what you should have if you're looking at it from the back. Next, we can grab our building blocks, our redstone dust, our hoppers, our piston, our stair, our target blocks, our observer, and also our dispensers. We can go up top here to this dirt block, and we're going to place down a solid block here to the right hand side. We're going to grab our stair and place down our stair in this orientation here. And then we're going to place down another solid block to the right hand side of that. Next, we can go ahead and place down a temporary block here with a dispenser facing towards that dirt block. And then on the right hand side, we're going to place down another dispenser facing towards that dirt block. And then on this side here, we're going to place down a target block here with a dispenser facing towards that dirt block. Just like that. Next, you can go ahead and grab your solid blocks, and you're going to place down 2 temporary blocks and a permanent block here. Go ahead and remove these 2 temporary blocks and place a piston facing straight down, just like so. Then you're going to grab your observer, climb your way all the way back up here to this very back dispenser. You're going to crouch and jump and place an observer facing just like that. The output arrow should be facing straight up. On top of that observer, you are going to want to grab your redstone dust and place a piece of redstone dust on top, just like so. And then we are going to grab our hoppers. We're going to place a hopper on top of this one. And then we're going to place a hopper going into the very back of this dispenser and a hopper on top of that hopper. just like that, and then go all the way around here, and we are going to place a hopper going into the top of that dispenser as well. Now we're going to go all the way around to the back side and place in our other target block. So on the corner here where these two are, we're going to crouch place a target block in right there, and then we're going to take our redstone dust and place redstone dust here and here, bring it down here and allow it to connect, and then we're going to bring this piece of redstone dust up here on top of that glass where it connects to that target block. Next, in order to make this farm work, you're going to want to grab your pressure plate and place down your pressure plate right here, and then we are going to want to grab a bucket of water, and we are going to want to go around here to the right hand side and waterlog that stair. That's going to ensure that this farmland stays farmland and does not convert back to dirt like what has happened here. So go ahead and test this out. You can go ahead and jump on here, and that should start going up and down. And in order to test these, you want to go ahead and grab 3 different blocks and throw one inside of each of these dispensers, and go ahead and jump on there, and it should dispense all 3 of those, and you should be able to pull them out down here. So the farm is pretty much working at this point. We just need to make it look a little bit better. So we're going to grab a sea lantern and place a sea lantern right here for a light source. And then we can take our building blocks and just wrap this all the way down and around and make it look a little bit better. So we'll bring this down around, fill that in there, and that's going to make it look a ton better. Now all we need to do is go ahead and grab those barrels and jump up here on the roof. We're going to crouch place a barrel on top of each one of these hoppers all the way around, and that's going to complete the simple version of this farm. So in order to test it out, I got bone meal loaded in all 3 of the dispensers. We're going to go ahead and grab our wooden hoe, turn that into some farmland, and then we're going to go ahead and grab our wheat seeds, walk onto this pressure plate, and see if the farm works, which it looks like it's a pretty good success. And if we go ahead and check the chest, you can see all of our wheat and seeds are inside of here. Now if you want the deluxe version, it's fairly straightforward to convert this over. You're just going to remove that pressure plate there and place it here instead, and then that's not going to power the farm anymore, so we're going to have to move around some redstone. But first we need to go ahead and remove this whole left wall here until you're at that point there. Now we are going to remove this block here, and this block here. We can go ahead and trade these out for some better looking blocks. That way we're not putting the redstone dust on top of dirt. And then you're going to take your redstone dust and run it around just like that. Now whenever you go ahead and jump on that, the farm's still going to work. Next we're going to grab a temporary block, place the temporary block right here, and then you're going to grab your dropper, and we're going to face a dropper straight up on that temporary block. Remove that temporary block there on the bottom, get you 1 hopper, and crouch place a hopper into the side of that dropper just like that. And again, that dropper should be facing straight up. Next, you're going to place a temporary block on top of this hopper here. And then you're going to place a trapdoor on top of that temporary block. A trapdoor on this side, and this side. Then you're going to want to fold all of those up just like so, and remove that temporary block. Next, you can go ahead and grab your building blocks and bring this right back down just like so, and cover that in as well. And then you can go ahead and grab your button here, and we are going to go to right in front of this dropper. We're going to turn 180 degrees and place your button right here. That's going to keep that water from flowing out. And then you're going to take your other bucket of water, and we're going to point to this block here on the front and place down that bucket of water, and it's going to flow towards that hopper. Next, on the right hand side, we're going to remove these 4 blocks. We're going to take a hopper, crouch place a hopper into the side of that double chest. Make sure it is indeed feeding into that double chest. Then we're going to take our composter, and we're going to crouch place a composter right here on top of that hopper. And then we're going to take another hopper, place it on top of that composter. And then we're going to take a barrel and place a barrel just like that. Next, you should be able to grab your seeds out of here and throw them inside of here. And then that's going to start composting them and turning them into bone meal, which should find its way inside of your chest. Always make sure that you leave yourself at least a stack of seeds. That way you have enough to start growing wheat again. Now all that's left to do is to test it out. Let's go ahead and jump up here. You can see it's feeding us plenty of seeds, and it is working just the way that it should. Well guys, I really hope this Minecraft Bedrock tutorial helps you guys out, and I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you did in fact enjoy it, go ahead and drop a like on the video. It really does help out the channel, and it helps my channel grow. If you have not yet subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I make all kinds of tutorials like this, along with a ton of other videos on the channel. Go ahead and check them out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.